Hands where I can see them. The shout split the warm evening air like a whip, startling the laughter out of the small crowd gathered near the boardwalk. The ocean breeze carried the faint smell of salt and sunscreen, and for a moment, time itself seemed to hold its breath. Alana Brooks froze, her 10-year-old son Malik clutching her hand tightly, his small fingers trembling. She turned slowly, eyes narrowing against the glare of police lights that had appeared out of nowhere. 2 uniformed officers advanced toward her, hands on their weapons, suspicion burning in their eyes. "Ma'am, step away from the vehicle," one barked. Alana blinked, confusion and disbelief warring on her face. She was still in her sundress, flip-flops dusted with sand, holding a souvenir bag filled with seashells and a small stuffed dolphin Malik had begged for just hours earlier. They were supposed to be relaxing, her first vacation in years. After losing her husband to a senseless act of gun violence, she'd promised Malik a week at the beach to heal. But now, the familiar nightmare of being judged for the color of her skin was unfolding again, and this time, it was worse. "Officers," she said, her voice calm but tight, "is there a problem?" The taller cop smirked. "We got a report of a stolen black SUV matching this description. You fit the profile." She almost laughed. "Fit the profile," she echoed. "Sir, this is my rental car. My son and I." "Ma'am, don't make this harder than it needs to be," the second officer interrupted, stepping closer. Malik whimpered, and that sound, his trembling voice saying, "Mom, are they gonna hurt us?" cut through her heart like glass. She wanted to protect him, to reassure him, but she also knew that one wrong move could end everything. Every instinct screamed to stay composed, to not escalate. But rage bubbled beneath her calm exterior. After all, they didn't know who she was. Not yet. The taller officer reached for her arm. "I said step back." She looked him dead in the eye. "You're making a mistake," she said evenly. "Yeah," he sneered. "We'll see about that." They shoved her against the car, Malik crying now. People started recording with their phones, voices murmuring, some in outrage, some in uneasy silence. Alana's mind raced. She could end this in seconds, but she wanted them to see. She wanted them to realize what they'd done before she revealed the truth. "My ID," she said through gritted teeth. "It's in my purse. Let me show you." The shorter cop hesitated but nodded to his partner, who pulled the purse open carelessly. His face changed when he saw the leather badge holder glinting inside. He froze, eyes flicking to hers. "Go ahead," Alana said softly. "Read it." His fingers trembled as he flipped the wallet open. The golden emblem of the Federal Bureau of Investigation gleamed in the flashing lights. Silence. The taller officer stepped back, his face draining of color. "Agent Alana Brooks," she said clearly. "Federal Bureau of Investigation. And unless you want to explain this incident to my superiors and the media, I suggest you take your hands off me and apologize to my son." The crowd gasped. Phones raised higher. The arrogance melted off the officers' faces, replaced by raw panic. "Ma'am, we didn't know, you didn't ask," she snapped. "You saw a black woman with a nice car and assumed the worst. You terrorized a child. You disrespected a mother. That's what you did." Tears ran down Malik's cheeks as she pulled him close. "It's okay, baby," she whispered. "Mommy's got you." One officer stammered, "We're so sorry, Agent Brooks. There was a misunderstanding." "No," she cut in coldly. "There was bias. Let's call it what it is." Her voice carried, firm and steady, filled with the authority of someone who had spent years fighting for justice. The watching crowd began to clap, hesitantly at first, then louder. A woman shouted, "That's right. Hold them accountable." Another man said, "About time someone stood up to this." The officers shifted awkwardly, mumbled apologies, and retreated to their cruiser. Alana stood there, her arm around Malik, the sea wind brushing against her face. He looked up at her, still shaken. "Mom," he whispered, "why did they do that to us?" She took a deep breath, her heart aching at the innocence in his question. "Because some people see the color of our skin before they see our hearts," she said softly. "But we can't let them decide who we are. We rise above it. Always." Later that night, after putting Malik to bed, Alana sat on the balcony overlooking the moonlit waves. The events replayed in her mind, the humiliation, the fear, the way Malik's small body had trembled against hers. She'd dealt with hardened criminals and dangerous missions, but nothing compared to protecting her child from prejudice. She opened her laptop and began typing a report, not the kind required by the Bureau, but one from her heart. She detailed the incident, not to punish those men, but to expose the quiet cruelty of assumptions, the casual violence of bias. She wanted this story to matter. Within weeks, the video recorded that day went viral. News outlets called her the mother who fought back. But Alana didn't want fame. She wanted change. She spoke publicly about reform, about the pain of raising a black son in a world that still feared him, and about the need for empathy, real, lived empathy, in law enforcement. Some criticized her, others applauded, but she kept speaking. Because silence was no longer an option. Months later, as she walked Malik to school, he squeezed her hand and said, "Mom, I wanna be like you when I grow up." She smiled, eyes misting. "Then promise me one thing," she said. "Always stand up for what's right, even when it's hard." He nodded solemnly. "I promise." The story of Alana Brooks wasn't just about an FBI agent wronged by prejudice, it was about a mother's strength, a child's courage, and the unbreakable hope that one day, justice would truly be blind. The world had tried to strip her dignity, but she'd turned her pain into purpose. And that, more than anything, was her victory.